today's video we are going to be continuing the park that we were building, but I'm not continuing it because I'm absolutely stupid and I forgot to actually save the park. So we're going to have to build a new park. So, Tips and Trips Park. You guys name the park, which you probably already have. I need to rebuild the whirly rig wide, which I'll do off camera. So we'll build them over this side now. So my sort of idea is we do exactly what we did last time with our park entrance. So plop ourselves down there. Edit, delete you. And there's our entrance. And also I'm going to be using the natural path because I just think it fits the theme slightly better than the original path that we were using. So, got this path. Now it's a case of building another ride. So, I'm going to use the Swift Drifters. This one's sort of a Magnificent Ride collection. So you need the DLC to be able to use it. So I'm going to be using a wooden sort of queue path for this. I'm going to follow up here. And then just gonna loop around. Because I've noticed when I've got these rides, they're always stupidly popular. And then you add a little grid section where you can add an area. Okay. And you can just continue it round. Right next to the exit. And then I'll connect it. Just quickly pop some more path down. There you go. There's our key path. And then our exit path can just be like it is with the main path. Turn off the connectors and then I'll connect it. There you go. So we can open it, but I'm not going to open it just yet because I'm actually going to sort out bits of scenery first. So first off, always add your bushes first. Got bushes and all sorts. So I think the first thing I'm going to add is a large tropical bush about here, just to fit that area, make it feel a bit more secluded. And then we'll add some natural rocks up against this rock, because you can always use scenery up against other scenery and it'll just make it look slightly better than it was originally. And we have large tropical bushes which you can use around the back of the ride. Something like that. Plane going over nails. And then add a couple of trees around everywhere. So I'm going to add a tree there. Hopefully it's not lacking anything. No, right, you can have that tree there. And so like the way you get the sort of area that I'm using here, you need to go to the options menu, settings, and then you need to travel over to the bar graph, and this is the game settings. And then you gotta go you gotta go to collisions, and you've got to disable the collisions to be able to use, or like to be able to put stuff in park. entrances or like in park rides and stuff. So if you come into any trouble, it's just because you need to turn off the collision. Got a couple of tropical bushes. And add that round the back here. Add more tropical trees. Do something like that. And then we can grab our, where is it? Nature region. We can go to our tropical nature region, and then we can also use the stuff in here. So you could probably add a couple more of these bushes on the ground to hide the fact that the trees are sticking out of wood. Something like that. And then you can add a couple of palm trees. So also, if you've not got if you've not got the adventure DLC, a good way to make ferns and stuff is if you grab a tree and then you put it down on the ground, you get a fern. Instead of having to need to buy DLCs to get the actual ferns. That's a dead swamp tree, I don't want that. So, done that. Now we need to add a couple more rocks. So we can grab, that's a bit too big of a rock. What rocks are this? What are you? Oh, you're delicate as well. Ah, okay, we don't need that then. We need this one. Yeah, now we need a small rock just to hide this. And then we can get another small rock. Do a little bit like that. And get another small rock, pop it right there. So, now we've done that, all we need to do is go over to our all and then get rid of nature region and then put it back onto tropical, and then we can use a couple more of this stuff. So we have a couple more of this bush which we can sort of line this queue path bit with, just to make the bush seem a bit more than just a bush. Instead of just being a bush plonked down, we can actually add a bit of character. Don't worry if the bushes go over slightly, it's alright, because bushes you usually have to walk through bushes to get to certain bits of parks. And then add little like rock bits too, because that always makes a good bit for your queues. And you can add not that big of a rock, something a bit smaller, maybe that large rock. Do something a bit like that, and then something a bit like that. There you go, and then you can add a bit more bushy stuff around the back. Also, I'm just going to quickly change it to always day so you can see what I'm doing. If only we have natural key paths. So something like that. And then we've got a couple more of arms. Got the palms in with a couple more bamboo hedges. That should be quite good because you can push them down into the ground, and then they act like a bit more of an a more grown sort of bush, like this, a grown-up version of this bush. Also, when you're building cube paths and stuff, you also want to make sure what's going to happen when I've got all of this going on. So, is my path gonna keep going along in case you can just keep building round the way you want to? Or is my cube path gonna turn round here? Which in this case it'd be a good idea to try and separate the cube path as much as possible from the normal path. Because a good way to build up tension in the park is by sort of keeping an obscure view of the ride. So, a couple more bushes. Also, don't forget you also have scenery, so you can still use that. Add a couple of tropical trees. And then add a large rock formation. And then push that down into the ground a bit. There you go. And then I can put another set of tree bits here. And then starting to come together. And add a couple more rocks around this cube bit. And then also go to our no, not facilities. Also go back to our create. We can add a bit more of bushes of our own. Make a centerpiece in areas where there's a lot of view from the cube path. Try and keep the guests occupied while they're in the queue. And then you can go to pirate instead of tropical. And then you can find these statues. Where is it? Ship statue. Oh, where is it? There it is. So that's the ship statue. Also going to find its plinth, which is this. You can add that there, and then you can have your ship on top. It's a bit off. There you go. Little centerpiece bit. Also add a bit of fencing. There you go. Let it lead into the rocks. And then you can put a bush down. Something such as another bit of this. Can just lead in. And you can add a small little custom camp area, which would be quite good. So you can either use the existing camp which they've got, which is this one, or you can put a fire pit down and you can make your own, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to have an idle pirate chilling. There you go. And then, if you have a tree of sorts, you can also have a pirate leaning on the tree. Something like that. Got to make sure that the animation doesn't clip through the tree that much to where it looks unnatural. Sitting on my wire. And then you can also add different bits. You can add archers. Maybe. One over the exit, probably. And then also along the fence, you can add a couple of chain lanterns. Or maybe not, because it don't fit. Also, make sure to add lighting around the park and around the rides. Also, keep it in sort of an alternating pattern. You can miss that one there, so there's no need for it. And then you can have one there. And one there, either side. One there. One there. One there. One there. And then one there. And one there. There you go. And then if you flip back to night, the area is sort of lit up slightly. Walk around, but this bit, all sort of lit up, and then now all you need to do, you need to go back to scenery, and just make the place seem more alive. Can't see anything, going back to day. There you go. Oh, big load of trees. Do something like that. Lead it into the rock, so it just looks like it ends abruptly. Now it's time to add a bit more things, so you could add a small camp in such areas as this. Try to add a little bit more of a human influence onto the land. A bit of fruity cargo. Sort of the pirate's booty from when they left it, or when they nicked it from a ship, you never know. Have some ammunitions. Always need some ammunitions. Could have that there. You can also, if you go to animatronics, you can find cannons and stuff, and you can turn them off when firing. So you click on it, and you go to the loop setting, and you change it to stationary, and it won't fire, and it'll just be there. Which is always quite good. And then got trapdoors and all that sort of stuff too. This barrel slide is actually quite good for ducks. It's not very good for the type of thing we're doing though. Also, you can think with these bits, right, okay, I can have a path running around here. And then maybe you can have a little secluded shop in here, or toilets. And then you can have it looping around the back of all of this. Make a little bit of a pirate bit round the back of here. Give a little bit of, ooh, what's that, for the queue people on the other side of the rock. Give you a little bit of a queue view there too. And you can do that. Maybe. And then you can take it with this path and you can lead it into here. End it there. Maybe have an entertainment point at the end of this. So if you leave that path and you go to scenery, create, and then you go to your food and that sort of stuff, then you go over here, not there. I've completely lost where this entertainer point is. Is it in here? Yes, it's in here. So you got your entertainment point, and then you can have your entertainment point there. And there you go. And then you can assign entertainers to this bit. So the way the entertainment point works is there's rosters, and the rosters determine where your workers work, and that can be put into a roster. Also, make sure to put benches and that around, because otherwise people will start complaining. And in the short time of, how long have I been recording? In 23 minutes, we've already done that. And bearing in mind that a lot of the people that you'll see, they'll make their creations and it'll take them days. And we've done this in 23 minutes. So, if you had an hour, think about how good you could make the queue look. All sorts of stuff that you can do. Like, for example, I was working on a sort of piratey building for a large scale. So, this was for a little pirate challenge that I was doing. I built a little pirate thing off of what I'd seen the other things do. This is with it without all the windows and stuff. And then I also built this large scale thing, which is meant to have a path running around this area. So you could also have an area that loops around this, and then you could have a ride going under. You could have a queue or a normal path going under here. There's all sorts you can do in this game. Now, for all I know, I could think this would be quite good, and then I can loop a path going through it. And then here, where the game's left these open, you could add ATMs, all that sort of stuff. Anyways, where it is. There you go. and then I'll just add it a separate building. There you go. Now we can do what we were going to do before. Add our toilet block round in the back of here. We can hide it with all the bushes and stuff. Maybe put a wall around it. Probably should put a wall around it. Go to our walls, and then if you go to build material, this is where you'll find all of the stuff that you use. So I either use plank or batten for pirate, but I mainly use plank. And then if you're building like a pirate villa type pirate park, then I suggest you use, I think it's the lime plaster. And then if it goes archers, you have these archers. And then you have a small little building, didn't have to bat an eyelid. And then all you have to do is add a little tiny roof to it. Yep. And then add a bit more of a wall to it. Yep. Those are the gable, move it in there. Move it in there. There you go. You have your little shed for your toilet. And then you can make that all look all overgrown. But sadly, we've run out of time. So in between I rebuild the sort of, what was it called? The whirly rig ride that we had. But I'll leave it for a day. Look at the comments, and then if you want me to show that being built again, then I'll do it. So if you have a look at my last video, I sort of have a lot more going on with an intro and stuff like that, and I'm trying to get some more subscribers. I'm trying to get up there on YouTube's table so I can get a bit more subscribers, views, likes, all that good stuff. So if you can, please do subscribe, please like the video, please tag all your mates in on it, because all I'm looking for at the moment is views. That's all I want. So if you could do that, that would be a real big help for me, and I would really appreciate it. And at the end of the video, I'll always open the ride. There you go. First ride open in our new park. I'll have a look in last video's comments, let you name the park, let you name the whirly rig ride, and then I also ask you to name this ride. I'll probably fill this bit in, maybe leave it, not sure though. So I'll see you in the next one, I guess.